It's Bourbon Night, welcome in. Now, as you've seen, we've been taking some of my conversations with Jason C. from the Mash and Drum and making them into bite-sized sort of topics. And then Sarah, you've been weighing in on them.
Right, I get to put my 2 cents in.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to have you watch these and then weigh in at the end. So let's get into it. Meanwhile, at the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room,
as far as like finishes go, what do you think the next? I feel like Amburana attacked everyone.
Oh, what's the next trend?
In 2023. Yeah, what do you think the next one's gonna be? I still think we're gonna see some tail end Amburana here in the beginning of the year from distillers that have not.
No more Amburana, please. It's not for me. I guess if that's what everybody wants, then sure, keep going with it. But man, I'm looking forward to seeing maybe other finishes coming about, but we'll let them keep going. I just wanted to get that out there.
I think everyone's gonna jump on the honey train next.
Well, I was getting ready to say, I feel like 2023 also had a lot of honey finish.
Yeah, oh, it did.
It did. I feel like it may come back more because honey barrels, I feel like, are in fewer supply.
Mm-hmm. And they're
from my knowledge,
and they're a pain in the ass to work with.
So there's a lot of fake. Not faking, shortcut, I should say. Shortcut
honey barrel.
For saying it's a honey barrel. You can literally, get a jar of honey at the grocery store and get basically a box version of a charred barrel and just kind of paint it on there and then siphon whiskey through it to say it's touched honey, it's a honey barrel. It's a honey barrel finish. So I think a true honey barrel, I've had some excellent ones.
I know Chad's thinking about that Bell Mead honey. That one is so good. We also love Silverback Distillery did a honey finish that was really nice. I'm kind of with them. I'd like to see more of those. I think that people know that it's popular. I think it might just be a matter of availability, like they were saying, but we saw some in 2023. I think we'll continue to see that one in 2024. Who knows what's next after that?
I don't like it when it's sort of
when
like
it works.
American honey version where it's low proof.
Yeah, low proof honey.
No, just come on.
Yeah,
give us
the proof.
Give us the proof. We want the proof.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, what do you think the next trend is? I
don't know if it's a trend, but I'm kind of hoping it will be because I really like it. Sauterne finished.
Sauterne finish.
Yes, like the Bardstown Bourbon Company Chateau d'Oisy-Dane. I don't know if you got to have that one, but it gave it this vintagey quality to it, and I think it's that Sauterne cask. It was really good.
Do love a Sauterne cask finish, an Armagnac finish. Those are like big ones for me that I think those are really nice. I'd like to see more of those. Of course, I'm sure they're probably more expensive to do, but I guess I have expensive taste. Oops, sorry.
So speaking of Bardstown, I have a bottle over there of the Amaro Nonino finish.
Ooh.
I don't know if you had that one yet, but I love what Amaro does to bourbon, and it's really good. I'm hoping. Not really sure how expensive those casks are, how available they are, but that's a really good finish. I thought Tokai was going to be kind of.
I was getting ready to bring up Tokai.
Yeah, I think it was going to be kind of the next one too.
It's super low in quantity.
Yeah,
and I think one person in general bought up like a huge amount of the Tokai barrels.
I only know like 2 or 3 places that have gotten Tokai and be able to use it. So.
Yeah, so I think if somehow someone can unearth some more Tokai barrels, I think that
could be a trend.
That would be a trend. Yeah, I think it's just a supply and demand thing, and people are trying. I'm sure they're trying everything under the sun to find the next thing.
Well, speaking of Sagamore, they had I saw a label on the TTB. It was a ginger mead finish. So mead is that what is it, like a brandy wine or something like that? But it's a ginger mead. So
wasabi?
Yeah. So and it was interesting because just thinking about it, then I was like drinking your pick. I actually got like this really nice like ginger honey orange tea note in this. That is so good. So yeah, this pick is you're gonna have to send me the link for that one.
That's for sure. And
y'all, if you're still interested in that Sagamore, there's still some left. The link's down in the description. Get you some.
Likewise, this is a great pick as well.
I got a bottle for you upstairs for that. You could take one of those home. Hopefully, when Sara feels better, she'll like it.
Oh yeah, that'll perk her right up. Road to recovery.
I don't think I've seen this bottle yet. Did it come home with Chad, or did he enjoy it all on his Columbus weekend? I'm gonna have to ask about that.
Well, that seems like a good place to hit pause because we want to tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com. It's where you can get the Rye Whiskey sweater that I'm wearing, the V-neck, Sarah, that you are wearing there. All of our glassware, all of our t-shirts and hoodies and hats and bottle cut candles and our old-fashioned cocktail syrup and everything, with more always coming soon, at whiskyambitions.com.
And you can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as, that's right, $1 a month. And that is where we release our exclusive barrel picks after the episode exclusive talks with Chad and I called Another Round. And then discounts on that merch Chad was talking about and lots more.
There you go. All right, we'll be right back. I also think reusing and reusing barrels. So anything that you can stack in the equation, like this is a bourbon or a rye finished in X stout barrels that then held coffee, that then held honey. You know, the more things you can on a
label
board
you can fit.
that you can move it around. Okay, so this barrel held this, and then it held this, and then this, and then we charred it again, or we scraped it and recharred it, or zebra barreled it. Like all these
Spiral
variables
cut,
to where you can't even put it on the front of the label. It's like, please see back.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, scan this QR code to find out what the hell we did to this whiskey. Yeah.
Also, because barrels are in low supply, they can't make them fast enough. So if you're already going to disqualify it as being a by-the-book bourbon, if it's going to be a finished bourbon or just American whiskey, you might as well reuse that barrel again and again.
Yeah, kind of getting into like a prediction for 2024 for this year that I had was, definitely using a lot more of these. Getting the most out of a barrel is what I think we're going to see distillers use. Like you said, all the different ways you could spiral cut it, re-char it, re-soak it, whatever you can do to get the most out of a barrel's time, and really draw out as much flavor as you can before you feel like it's just a done barrel. I think people are going to start doing.
I think this is a really interesting topic about getting as much as you can out of a barrel, because I think the way that we talk about it, it almost makes it seem like the distilleries are, squeezing every bit that they can get out of these barrels to stretch them farther and to kind of like not hoodwink, not trick us, the consumer, but a little bit. I think that's the sentiment, but I don't really see it that way. I think like the conditions of, I can see the case, but I think the conditions of there being such limited supply of these barrels forces innovation in the field to see what else we can do with them, where normally in the past, if there was a surplus, they would have discarded them way more easily. That would have been a first go-to, or just sent them to Scotland. And, on some level, I think getting the most use out of it as possible is like, not to be too like granola or anything, but like, we're honoring the wood, the tree, every step of the process. We're making it more sustainable in a way in terms of getting everything that we can out of that barrel before we, let it go on to whatever its next life is. I don't know, maybe that's a little too sentimental, but I kind of like it.
Just because, like you said, we are in a barrel shortage. Yeah. Not many people really realize that. It's definitely getting harder and harder for these coopers to keep churning out barrels at the rate
and there's
that
not
they're
that
filling
many.
them.
There's not that many coopers out there.
Yeah.
Cooperages. Yeah.
And you got to remember, like, people think that you can just grow a tree and make a barrel, but you got to remember these trees.
50 years.
These trees to make these barrels are like 50 years old at least.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
So you can't just super grow a tree. It's crazy.
They will try.
If
they try to speed up Mother Nature.
Speed up the aging process.
They will speed up the tree process. Like, this is a synthetic oak, but it's still classified as oak, so it counts. Like, I think the TTB hopefully would have a problem with that.
Yeah, I would hope so. But yeah, I think that's definitely could be a trend. We've seen Foregate do a little bit of this with they're using barrels that had that was originally a sherry barrel that then held rum. Then they're sourcing those barrels, then throwing bourbon or rye into the mix. Yep. So we are seeing this. So I would expect we would see it more.
It's just going to get tacked on.
Yeah.
More.
The stout coffee one actually sounded kind of interesting. You should do that.
Well,
I'd drink that
because we sort of did that. We had Wilderness Trail 3-barrel wheated blends. That was our wheat science that we then took to Mirror Twin Distillery in Lexington. They put Imperial Stout in there. Made a beer out of it, and then we got the barrel back, took it to Stave and Bean in Louisville, and then they put coffee beans in it, and now we have a coffee available on whiskyambitions.com and now we got the barrel back. And I kind of feel like I don't know what else to do with it.
Yeah, right now we have because
cut it up and make coasters.
Yeah, Scott and I for Master Journey we did we have a beer that's aging in a 4-gate port sherry barrel in Wisconsin with an imperial stout.
Yes.
So once that gets poured and used, we send that back to 4-gate, and maybe they could fill it with some distillate, maybe do a barrel pick eventually.
Totally.
So we're just trying to see how that turns out. But again, it's like this whole recycle, reuse. How much flavor can you draw out of that barrel before it dies?
Yeah, exactly. Just stretch it.
Stretch it as much as you can. Get as much as you can out of it.
I'm honestly wondering if soon we're gonna see everything come kind of full circle, right? Like we've seen the rise of double oaking, finishing in these different, spirits or wine barrels, and then multiple stacking like we're talking about now. Now we're talking about the shortage of these barrels. But at some point we're gonna catch up to, when the bourbon boom really started and all the distilleries were laying down more product, to where I would hope that in the next few years we're going to get caught up to where, now they have 8-year age-dated product, again, a surplus of it because they planned for this, or 10-year and so on. And so I wonder if we're going to see not the slowdown of finishes, but those core age-dated products come back up that kind of got discontinued because they needed them to blend into other things, or they needed them for limited editions, and demand was so high that there just wasn't enough to go around. We should be seeing, all the preparation for that after it happened initially start to pay off in the next few years. So I don't know. I don't know about any other trends that I expect, but I would think that that's got to be something that's coming soon. Please let that be something that's coming soon. I think that would make everyone out there very happy.
Well, there you go. Again, special thanks to Jason from The Mash and Drum.
If you haven't subscribed to him already, you can do so at The Mash and Drum here on YouTube.
You can also follow him on Instagram at Mash and Drum. It's probably down here.
It's probably down there. And you can listen to his new podcast. Just search The Mash and Drum wherever you like to listen to your podcasts.
And if you're not subscribed to us already, well, you can also do that as well. It costs you nothing. You can do so by clicking right up here. There are suggestions of other videos down here. We hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Jason. Until next time, drink more bourbon.